Hello everybody, I'm rex01, Rowan Victory here, and just at the start, I apologise for my terrible hair. I literally just came out of a shower. So yeah, again, what do you expect? And I thought this week's video might be a clear update on projects that I have planned for the future. Because since I got a few questions in my Q&A about, what do you have planned for the future, I thought I might just make a whole entire video dedicated to all of the plans that I have for my channel in the future. This is going to be dedicated towards dinosaur shows. So if you're expecting anything else from me, I'm like, if any of you are still here for, if you guys are only here for the tributes, fuck off. And apart from that, if you want to hear about the dinosaur shows I've planned for the future, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. But first, before we get onto the dinosaur shows, I thought I should give this is a thing which I plan to do my videos from now on, which is where I give updates to new dinosaur figures that I have, instead of making a whole entire garbage video about them. So I've got 3 new figures. And I've got them all quite recently. 2 of them are Mattel, 1 of them is Slice. The first Mattel one is the Dino Rivals Protoceratops. I like the sculpt and I really like the paint on this one. I think the paint on this one is superior to the original. I really like this figure and I highly recommend getting it over the older one. And next up we have the second and most recent figure, the Dual Attack Triceratops, which I think is a decent figure, and due to the name, it's a dual attack figure. It has 2 action features. There's 2 burns on the back, which I don't think you can there. You can see them there, in which when you press the front one, its head goes up. This one doesn't make any noises. And which, if you hit the back, and if you hit the back one, it has a tail slap, which is weaker than Camosaurus in bed. Anyways, I'd say this is a decent figure. I prefer the paint scheme to the original one, but the original one has slightly better ones. It has a slightly different. The original has better things that this thing does. Oh god, sorry. The original, I'd say these two are about the same. The original does stuff better than this one. This one does stuff better than the original. And then the next one and the last one is the Slice figure. This was a very anticipated figure for me, which is the Slice 2019 4-legged Spinosaurus. When I first got this figure, I thought it was very underwhelming. Then looking at it and then thinking about it, I really like this figure. I really like it. The only thing I don't like is a few paint details, like in the eyes. Don't know if you can see that, but in the eye right there, it's mostly... Look, I'm basically saying this part has some paint details which I don't really like, which is mostly because it is a Slice figure, and Slice isn't known for their good paint scheme now, is it? But this is a good figure, I'd recommend getting it. So now, we should actually get on to the 4 projects that I have planned. I'm going to start from my least favourite to my favourite, and starting off is basically the ending. Delete that bit. And the first project we're going over is Jurassic Mates. Now, Jurassic Mates, the only show on my channel, and it's the show which I think is the worst one. Now, when I started off Jurassic Mates, I made it just like, why the hell not? It was a pastime. I was told to do I was told to watch over the laptop I was updating, and now I made a video around it. I uploaded to YouTube. It's basically just a Jurassic... What's Camel's show again? I forgot what Camel's show is called. It's basically a rip-off of one of Camelsaurus's show. And when I began it, I didn't really have any idea of where to take the show. Now, I plan to make 3 more episodes. This is meant to be a monthly show, but I haven't made any episodes since December. Now, the 3 episodes which I have planned, which one is a single episode, then the other 2 is a 2-parter, then that is it. I don't plan to make any more Jurassic Mates related stuff after that. Now, even though this was originally a monthly series, I have no plan when these 3 episodes are gonna come out. They're gonna come out when I finish them. Now, I already have plans, of course. I have plans of what's going to happen in them. I have plans of who I'm going to try to get to voice in them. Because now I try to get at least one special guest onto each episode. Which, trust me, it's harder than you think. And I haven't contacted who I'm getting yet for the next 3 episodes. Now, once again, after these 3 episodes, that is it. I don't plan to make any more Jurassic Mates. But I could make some sort of like spin-off show, but who knows, I might not even make that, because I don't know if you get it by now, but I am very bad at comedy. I am a horrible comedy writer, which is why none of the other shows on this are comedies, because I suck at telling jokes. And now, the next show is one which is very close to my heart, and one which is already in production, which is Prehistoric Planet. Prehistoric Planet. Prehistoric Planet is a dinosaur documentary show where scientists on planet Earth send drones to a different planet called Planet Prehistoria, home to which seems to be the last living relics of, or what seem to be the last living relics of the dinosaurs. Now, people get inspired. Bionocosaurus dinosaur island is inspired by Raptor 621. Mesozoic Isle is inspired by Dinosaur Island. And I thought I'd dedicate Prehistoric Planet to Baryonyx 825. Now, if you don't know who he is, Baryonyx 825 is a dino tuber. He was one of the originals. He was one of the main founders of the community, along with Raptor Boy 101, I think it's 101, and Gloppy. In fact, Gloppy and Raptor Boy might be the same person. I'm not sure. Anyways, sadly, Baryonyx 825 passed away in 2014. Now, I grew up watching his show. The show which he made was Dinosaur Chronicles. And going through his channel earlier, I noticed that his channel was never really dedicated to dinosaurs. But Dinosaur Chronicles, that was the dinosaur documentary show which I grew up with. Yes, I did occasionally watch Dinosaur Island, but I never really came back to watch it. Meanwhile, Dinosaur Chronicles, that has 1 season and a season 2 with 1 episode. He didn't complete season 2. And that's a show which made me keep on coming back and watching it. And I thought I'd continue Baryonyx 825's memory through my own show, Prehistoric Planet. Because since I grew up with his show, I just might as well make one inspired by him. Now, the main dinosaur is a male Giganotosaurus called Gigan. Yes, I named a dinosaur after a Godzilla monster. Don't judge me. This guy is like my blood tooth from the show, basically. because there isn't really a main character. There are a few main characters. There is Gigan, there's his mate, Gungaya, there's a brachiosaur, a female baby brachiosaur, called Branch, and a juvenile triceratops called Marsh, named after the person who discovered it. Now, the main thing which Prehistoric Planet is about, it's about nature. I try to represent a accurate representation of what happens in nature. About how they hunt, about how they live, and how I think these things would live. And it's also about how nature solves imbalance. Because if you don't know, this is connected to a short that I made last year called Hunted, my favourite video on my channel, and this is a sequel leading on from that. I love that video, and I'm still very proud of it. This is a sequel to that show. This is a sequel to that short, and this show is about imbalance in nature, and how nature solves that imbalance. It solves the imbalance through certain events and certain predators. Why did I just say predators like that? Anyways, I probably shouldn't explain anymore, or I'll end up spoiling it. Now, I have one episode fully filmed for it and uploaded unlisted on YouTube. Now, I've shown it to some Super Sketch Show Guy, OP, Fairpod Riot, and I think I might have shown it to Mesozoic Master. And the reviews for the first episode are very positive. Now, my main problem with this show is keeping up the quality of story writing. Because I have an idea of where the show's going to begin, and have an idea of where it's going to end. And so my main problem now is to try and fill up the gaps, how to continue it, and how to show it. Well, I have no clue when the show is going to come out. I go to the filming area. I'm going next month. I don't know what time. I'm going to try and film more stuff there. I've almost completed the script for episode 2, but I need to. I'm not sure whether I should finish it off at the point that it's at or continue it. Because another main problem of mine is the script writing. Because, in my opinion, you can't really do that much with just with just animals just being animals. They don't really have that much character, and it's really hard to show how a non-talking character has changed through narrator's dialogue without the dialogue spurting out a bunch of information. Anyways, I plan to dedicate Prehistoric Planet to the memory of Baryonyx 825, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Now, moving on to the next show is a very recent idea. And it's for a show called Sunset. No. It's not called Sunset. It's called Sunrise. Sorry, I keep getting those things mixed up. The show is called Sunrise. Sunrise is the story of the teenaged female T-Rex called Sunrise, who is raised by a herd of herbivores. And the story is about her trying to unite with other T-Rexes and trying to find out what is the meaning in her life, and basically what is it like to be raised by somebody who isn't one of your kind. It's a story about finding yourself and finding your meaning in life. And finding who you belong with. Now, this is a talking dinosaur show. It's going to be the first of its kind. Because most of the time, talking dinosaur shows are inside and they're quite low quality, or they're used for comedic reasons. Now, Sunrise is going to be a high quality outside show, because these are real life dinosaurs which talk. Don't ask me why. They're talking dinosaurs don't question it. And basically the story, of course, as I said earlier, is about her finding her way in life and about trying to find people who you belong with, being raised by somebody who's a part of your who isn't a part of your kind. And as pressure builds on the show with a enemy as a threat from far away slowly closes in on them, pretty much Sunrise. Yes, the T-Rex is named Sunrise. Sunrise has to find other T-Rexes to try and combat this force. Now, I really like the idea that I've had for this show, and I cannot wait to do it. It's going to be the first of its kind. It's going to be quite hard to make because it's going to require voice acting. Now, I will not be doing the voice acting for this. I plan on getting voice actors to do the voices for me, because the main character is a female. And if you couldn't tell, but I do a horrible female voice. So I'm going to try and find a female voice actor to do it, and who I think would be able to. Now, I have a few other voice actors who in my head, who I might be able to contact for this. But I'd say the show would be released. I'd say the show would begin production like late 2019, early 2020. It all depends on when I finish Prehistoric Planet. And I cannot wait to start this show. I really like the idea. And this is and stuff like this is where I want to lead my channel in the future. And the reason she's called Sunrise is describing the day she was born, and it's also describing the color of her. Because this is the figure which I'm going to use. I'm going to use the smaller collector feathered T-Rex, but if you couldn't tell, it's blue and brown. So I talked about it with a few people. I mostly talked about it with Matthew the Dinosaur King to see if he could think of any red T-Rexes, but none of them really suited the idea that I had for the character. Which is why I had the idea of trying to repaint. I have never tried to repaint something before. I should probably get practice before I try. But I plan to paint her a reddish-orange colour. I'm most likely putting up an image right now of me trying to Photoshop it. Just try to imagine the back and the lower belly of her being orange, or being a orangish yellow. So now, since we move on from that show, we move on to the show which I really want to do, and which is this is all building up to Carnival Wars. Carnival Wars is a story of two warring factions. One, which I haven't figured out the name of, and two, which I haven't figured out the name of. Yes, I don't know the name of the sides yet. Carnival Wars is an idea which I came up with in 2017. Yeah, 2017. I made a few trailers for it, but it was inside, and to be honest, I never really wanted to do it. But now, 2 years later, I've came up with a story which I am really, and I mean really proud of. And Carnival Wars is about the effects of war, and how wars affect people, how it brings out your inner rage, how war shows who you really are, and how war sometimes brings monsters outside of us. Monsters which we didn't know which we had inside of us. Now, I'm really proud of the story which I came up with for Carnival Wars. And unlike other shows like Prehistoric Planet, which might get more seasons depending if people like it, and Sunrise, which I don't plan to get a sequel, and I'm still unsure what I'm going to do with Sunrise. I'm unsure whether I'm going to leave it open to other possible seasons or wrap it up in one season. Meanwhile, for Carnival Wars, I've planned 3 to 4 seasons of Carnival Wars, and I am proud of the idea which I came up with. Now, I would have other figures on the desk right here, but this is the only figure I have for Carnival Wars so far. So I've got a lot of buying to do in the meantime, and I can't say this enough, but I really am proud of the story which I came up with for Carnival Wars. Most of the time I describe it as basically Transformers, but with dinosaurs. I'm thinking about it more. Yes, that's a very simple way to describe it, but I'd say it's basically Transformers, but with dinosaurs with a bit of my own originality sprinkled in there. And I'm being serious. I'm going to keep on saying this, and I've said it too many times. I am really, and I mean really, proud of the story which I came up with in this. And I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Now that is pretty much it for shows which I have planned. But keep in mind there might be a few other projects because there's a Jurassic Park show or slash film which I will do, but I'm unsure when and I'm unsure what I'm really going to do with it. But these are really the only shows I have planned, and as I said earlier, I can do more seasons of Prehistoric Planet if people really want more seasons, and if they really liked it. Meanwhile, Carnival Wars, I have more seasons planned, and for Sunrise, I don't have any other seasons planned. And just to make it clear here, and to just nail this into your head, I have no idea when any of these shows will come out. Because the way I do shows is that I record all of the episodes, create a backlog and upload them weekly. Because I don't want to be in the same situation which Camelsaurus and Barnacosaurus are in sometimes. Which is that they create an episode, then they upload it, and then they get to work on the next one, which can create a inconsistent. I can't say it. Which can create a very weak upload schedule, I should say. So I have no idea when any of these shows are gonna come out. I have no clue when Prehistoric Planet's going to come out, but when it does, then I'll get to work on Sunrise. I have no idea when Sunrise will come out, but when it does, then I'll get to work on Carnival Wars. Now, I might do 1 season of that, and if you guys want more of Prehistoric Planet, I might do another season of that. But once these 2 shows are done, I'll mainly be focusing on Prehistoric Planet. Because Prehistoric Planet, I tend to focus on Carnival Wars. Because I want Carnival Wars to be the show which I really want to be known for. Because I love the idea. I can't say enough. I love the idea, and I think you guys will love the show as well. Well, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, it's Indominus rex01. Roar into victory! Ah!